Bid Friday and our Innovative Solutions series. During the Innovative Solutions, we try to see how we can innovate to solve the many present issues in our country, Liberia. One of those issues, or many of those issues, can be solved, our guests believe, by the use of technology. So tonight we're going to be delving into the use of technology as an overview in solving most or some of Liberia's problems. So at this time, I want to bring on board my co-host, Mr. Ansoni Sie, who's going to take it away from me. Mr. Sie.
Mr. Chad, thank you. And folks in cyberspace, thank you for joining us yet this evening. We appreciate you joining us always anytime we come here. It's because of you we do what we do here in educating, elevating, and promoting all things Liberia. Today is our Innovative and Solution series. This time around, we are venturing into the area of technology, something I love, but I know nothing about. And so we went all around finding somebody, and we got one in person of Dr. P. Vulluleh. At this time, we want to welcome our guest. Dr. Vulluleh, welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Again, folks in cyberspace, always, we want you to share the show with your contact, with your friends. It's technology. Many of you use the smartphone. You don't know how it came about. We have a gentleman here. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but I know he's going to tell us about technology. And I can't wait to yet, or he has to share. I love this technology, but I don't know anything about it. And so I'm here to benefit. I don't even know the questions to ask, but he has the answers. And so, folks, we can welcome you enough to this conversation. Let me come back to you, Dr. P. He wants us to call him Dr. P. Dr. P, we are here with you, and our audience, I guess, are wondering, okay, Dr. P is in the house, the man to talk about technology. First of all, we want to know you. Who is Dr. P?
Well, again, thank you for having me. My name is Dr. P. Vulluleh. Many people call me Dr. V. I'm a Liberian, in short. When it comes to education, I have a lot of education and working experience in the field of technology. Yeah, so when it comes to education, I have like bachelor's in information system with minor in information security. I have a master's degree in information system, another master's degree in psychology, and then a doctorate degree in information technology. So my main area of expertise here is networking and cybersecurity domains. When it comes to experience, I have over 10 years of experience in the technology field. Currently, I work as a professor and also a course developer at several different universities in the United States. One of them having to be Regent University. You can find that in Virginia. And I also serve as the CEO of the Liberia e-Library. And the Liberia e-Library, we will come to it later, but it's a platform, online platform, which supports learning, teaching, and research in Liberia. In the past, I have worked as IT specialist, IT analyst, cybersecurity consultant, and cybersecurity professional with the U.S. Department of Energy. And lastly, I have authored so many different articles, most of them on Liberia.
Thank you. And Dr. Vulluleh, let's get to know a little about your family. I believe you come from a family. You want to share that?
Yes, I'm married, and I have 4 kids, and I currently live in Washington with my family.
All right. Thank you so very much. Mr. Jha.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. P. Vulluleh, information technology guru, who is in the house to tell us a little about technology and how we can use technology to solve the problems that we face in Mama Liberia. So, Dr. P, let's start with this question. What is technology and why do we need it?
Thank you. That's the question that many people struggle with. And also many people use the term technology, but not everybody knows what technology is. I will try to provide, the very basic, definition of technology, just for your audience and the people out there. So when you say technology, for short, you are talking about those tools, those techniques we use every day to make our jobs easy. What do I mean? Let's take, for example, the phone that we use to call every time. A couple of years ago, or let's say decades, we used to write. If we want to write somebody, our families and friends, we used to use the paper and pen. After we write that, we put an envelope and give it to somebody. Maybe we'll drive to the parking lot and give it to somebody. Hey, when you travel, go and give this thing to my family or my friend. And that would take a long time. But now, with the use of cell phone, you can just sit wheresoever you are, you dial someone's number, or you use Facebook, for example, you just instant message, and the person will get it, and you will be able to get feedback from that person immediately to carry on your daily routine. That's why I mean by when you say technology, you're talking about the tools we use every day to make our life easier. And
go ahead.
Yes. Also, the Liberia e-library I just talked about. Many universities around the world, especially in Liberia, currently still use physical library. But with the e-library, that is the digital, library, you don't have to drive to go to the campus to browse to search for books. You sit wheresoever you are and browse whatsoever content you want. So with that, it makes your job and your life easier. That's what I meant by technology are those tools and techniques we use every day to make our lives easier.
With that definition, can we use technology? What would be the other use of or uses of technology? Can we use it for good? And also, can we use it for evil?
Yes, we use technology for good. Technology can be a weapon as well as a tool to build. That take for instance, the hackers. You have hackers all around, and most of these guys, they are well informed when it comes to technology. What do they use these things for? They use these things to steal people, information for something ugly. They use this information to hijack, like planes and cars and things like that. So those are the bad part of technology. But the good part of it is like what you have, like the iPhone, like you have the e-library, you have the cars, you have the airplane. So those people who made these things, who made these tools, they follow the good path of technology.
And you want to throw light more on the bad side of technology?
Yeah, okay. The bad side, let's say, for example, we have more politics, people in Liberia or all over the world who are doing politics, for example. And because you want to throw your opponents to the floor so you can win election, for example, you try by all means to hack into that person's phone. Maybe you pay companies to hack into that person's phone just to steal, or to get access to certain information that person has. That when it's in the public domain, it will be kind of embarrassing to the person. Those are some of the bad parts.
Thank you.
Like WikiLeaks.
Very good, WikiLeaks. That's the good one here in the United States.
All right. Let's come to, I know you kind of went over the general use of technology. Let's go example by example. You talk about the use of phone, instant messages, card and plane. Beside those, are there other, because I hear about software. Is that part of technology, and how is that being used to solve problems?
Okay, in technology, you have the software aspect and then the hardware aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And they both come together to make the technology. So let's say, for example, the computer, when you are on the computer, for example,
right,
you have to install software within the device itself. The tools you go to the store to buy, to purchase, are the hardware. The monitor, these are the hardware. So what's inside the hardware that make you and I to be talking right now are the software that you have in technology. So in technology, you have the software and then the hardware. So like I said, previously, the definition I provided a very, mainstream like that. But if we try to go in detail of technology, then that's where now you have the software and the hardware coming together now. And it requires more time.
And looking at software and hardware, apps now have become so predominant. There's app for this, there's app for that. What category of apps fall in? Is that software or hardware?
Okay, those apps are software.
Okay.
Because those apps have to be downloaded onto the hard device, that is the hardware, to be workable.
All right, let's look at interfacing in technology. So I'm curious how these things work. Somebody all the way in my hometown of Southtown and calling me on video. I mean, I see it, I experience it, but I'm now curious, how does it work? How can you explain that for somebody to understand how this thing is working?
Okay, for those ones, you have companies that are around and making or developing these softwares. Mm-hmm. So with those apps or things also fall in the software category. So those software, you download them onto your computer. Mm-hmm. Some of them free, some of them you pay for them, and download them to be able to use them. So when you say we should go into detail of those things, because the question you are asking is like going into detail of those things one by one. And trust me, you don't have the time for that.
We don't have that time, but let's go on the surface on the let's look at one of the major issues when you talk about security, because we are using technology, we are enjoying it, but sometimes we don't know the risk involved and we don't know the length and breadth of it. Tell us about when you are using technology, what are some of the things we need to be aware of as the risk, as the danger that we face? What are we exposed to? What can happen to us, both good and bad?
Yes, there are a lot of bad things that can happen to you when you are using technology. The good part about it is, let me give you the good part before I come to the bad part. The good part about it is it makes your life easier. You will, everything you want, you will get it. Let's say you want to call somebody, you can call the person very fast. You want to send a message, you can do it very fast, But the bad thing about those things in using them is that, for example, the calling you do, you can have somebody monitoring your call. That's the bad part about using those things, for example. Even the softwares that we were just talking about that you have to download on the hard device to be able to use, those things can be hacked. Those things can be monitored. So when you are using these things, it's better to know at the back of your mind that in the world of technology, there is nothing called privacy. Everything is open. You might feel that maybe you're doing it in your room, so no one knows. No. Remember, what you are using is in the public square. That's what they call the technology. It's open out there. But because we are laymen, we don't really know that it's open out there. It's like running water that everybody can go and swim in.
Now let's come to your, and we have questions on Facebook coming already, so I hope our phone lines get connected quickly. But let's go to your work. You know, you talk about the e-library as number one. I know you've been using technology to solve problems and some of the things that we've been. Run us through some of the work that you do utilizing technology, including the e-library. Why do you have it? What do we do with it? And what other things that you do?
Okay, when it comes to the e-library, it was created with this idea in mind. One, we don't have to travel to Liberia or live in Liberia to make a difference. You can sit wheresoever you are to make a difference. So like me, I'm an IT professional. So what can I do to show that I'm an IT professional? I don't have to go and be on the ground. So I look at it, I'm like, okay, when you have Liberians who have written, you know, they have authors, several books and articles. And we also have several documents out there from the slavery times, Judith Jenkins Robertstown, and everything out there. We have Liberian students all around the world who want to have access to some of these documents, but they don't. They look for it all over. Even myself, when I was doing my thesis and also writing my dissertation, I was looking for documents on Liberia, but I couldn't find them. I called several people, but they couldn't find them. So I came up with the idea. I was like, okay, why don't we have a common place where Liberians can go to find documents about Liberia? So that is the reason why that was established. And it benefits the students in Liberia and all over the world. It benefits the teachers at the universities, at the local schools. It benefits the researchers all over the world, especially Liberian researchers. Guess what? One good thing is that whether you wrote your book is for sale or is free, everyone is welcome to post their materials there. Whether you have written before or not, if you found something about Liberia, go and post them there. It's free of charge, no money. That's the good part of technology, right?
So go over that again concerning the e-library, and I posted the link on Facebook so that people see that you're saying you have this. It has a collection of books. I have written a book. I want to, and it's on Amazon. I can go on that e-library and post it. That's what you're saying.
Yes. If you have written a book, it's on Amazon, whether it's free, whether it's for sale, you are welcome to carry it to the Liberia e-library and post it there. If it is for sale, you have the option of putting the price, your price there at the Liberia e-library. When your money comes, it's not coming to me. It's not coming to the Liberia e-library. The money is coming to you. Okay, so it's what I just said. I don't have to be in Liberia to make contribution. I can sit anywhere and make contribution. And one of the contributions I've made is to create a Liberia e-library. That's one. Two, before I could create a Liberia e-library, I have reached out to several universities in Liberia, including the University of Liberia, UMU, AME Zion. I've reached out to most of these people to discuss technology. And sometimes when you reach out to them, some of the conversation can be encouraging and some not. Those ones that can be encouraging, as time progresses, you see that it will start to fade away. Because one thing is, the country, Liberia, is kind of difficult to embrace new ideas. So that's one of the places where we are.
And the question Dr. P was responding to came from Riverside Pro, who says that brother with such expertise and innovative mind is a complete brain drain. How is Liberia benefiting from his expertise? Now let me go to Saki Golafale. Very interesting. I would like to connect with him. Saki wants to connect with you. Musu Stewart say, what are your suggestions? No. How can countries with low exposure to technology use external platform for learning?
Okay. So the first person who said how they can connect with me, if you can go to the Liberia e-library online, click on contact us, you will see all the information about us, how to get in touch with us. And then from there, we can take it from there. Then the second question, I think it says how a country like Liberia can use technology, right, in education. Okay, for e-learning. So places like Liberia, it is a little bit difficult to implement e-learning there. So the reason why it's a little bit difficult is that because of the internet, availability, because of the technology that is there. So in order for places like Liberia to be successful at implementing digital learning, also called e-learning, you will need the support of the government of Liberia, the full support of the government, and also you will need the full cooperation and support of the institution, the higher than the universities. That's the only way it will be successful.
One more question from Facebook before I ask my own question. Again from Saki Gulafale, what are your suggestions to app users who do not read but accept terms and conditions? You downloading your app from the App Store, accept. Your suggestions?
Yes, that thing, it happens to almost everybody. Sometimes you even go to the dealership to buy a car and they just give you some papers with small dot on it. They say you should sign. Can you see them to sign? No, you can see them to sign. So sometimes it's like we're taking away our rights. But one of the best things to do when you want to download apps is to go on the internet, search that app, read about the app, because you don't have the time to read all those small writing during the installation time. But prior to the installation, go on the computer, read about the app first, get people's view on it, whether it's good or not, before you can come to install it or not.
Now let's go into how we can use technology in Liberia to solve problems. And I want you to give some examples of some sectors. It can be banking, education, immigration, elections, whatever you can do for us tonight, and give us example how we can use technology in those areas to make things easier for us.
Okay, I wrote this article. When you go on the Liberia e-library, you will find it there. It's called Transforming Liberia Through Technology. Transforming technology through technology. So when you go to the e-library, just type that in and it will come. So in that, it explains a lot how to use technology to transform the country. We just talked about e-learning. We can use technology to transform the way we learn. It's not difficult. It's very easy, but everybody has to be on board for it to work. If one person tries to do it and the other people are not, willing, then it won't work. It will just go and then it die down. So we can use technology in learning. Sometimes you have students from UL, that is University of Liberia, who sometimes are on their thesis, their last term of their semesters, and they have to travel out of the country. And sometimes they travel, they will not go back for maybe several years. What become of their degree? All the years you spend, because you never spend one semester, the degree will not be completed. So with e-learning, that degree can be offered online. Thesis can be offered online. And then that student can just go ahead and make her presentation using digital platform like what we are doing right now. So like in the healthcare, for example, we can use technology in the healthcare in so many different ways. The literacy rate in Liberia is very high. So, and one thing is one of the ways to use technology in the healthcare is to use like this mobile phone where hospitals can send out educational information to patients, like they're around. So, for example, you can remind a patient that their appointment is coming up. We do it here in America, and the people are succeeding here because they put their mind to technology, and we can do these things over there. And you can even use technology in policing. You can use technology in so many places that I can sit here to name all for you. And with technology, the economy will be able to grow. How will it grow? Technology creates jobs. That nobody lied to you that it does not bring jobs. It creates jobs. And with technology, your employees can be very happy because what? They have the information readily available in their hand to do their tasks, to do their jobs.
All right, let move you to another place and try to craft an example there. The issue of election, something that is juicier for many people. Just grab something. You are a man of wisdom in the area that we can use. Just an example, how we can improve our electioneering process. How can technology play a role there?
Yeah, when it comes to that, there's something that it comes in different categories. For example, does the election in Liberia, does it use like machines for people to vote? If it uses machines, then a different ball game.
Okay.
If it does not, then we can focus on the aspect that says or that has to do with educating the people, getting the words out, getting the presidential candidate messages out. Not everybody should go to a rally. Maybe CDC having rally, then everybody have to drive from, let's say, Banga to go there before they can hear it or see it. We can use technology. People sit to wheresoever they are to hear that candidate or that presidential candidate message to see how they can vote. We can use technology to conduct research to see how the people, will vote. We don't have to guess. Some times ago, or during the election, I think it was 2016 Liberia, I called somebody, I said, who do you think will win? His answer to me was, my man, when you go to all the rally, it can be packed. So I know who will win. So I'm like, is that the answer? So we can use technology to try to do research, to try to do the polling thing that people can do to get information on our elections.
And before I leave you on this little example on election, is it possible that I went in the grocery store and I grabbed a few items and I got to the area to check out and I'm scanning, pom, and everything is calculated, I'm out. So is it possible using technology to design ballots in a way that even a tablet can be used to scan them and the result can be calculated if it is well planned? Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible, but it has a catch, like we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. Technology have bad side and good side. Mm-hmm. And in order to use technology to that level, like you just talked about, right, you have to be prepared because you have so many people who will want to, hack into your election data, a change result and things like that. So you have to be very careful when you go into that high level so you can be affected.
All right, folks in cyberspace, you are watching Focus on Liberia. This is our Innovation and Solution series. We always alternate Debate Friday and our Solution series on Friday. And today we have with us Dr. V. Dr. V is a Liberian professional with emphasis in the area of technology. Using technology to solve problems. How in any way can technology help? I know you talk about the police, but let's come to our courts. Can technology help there to make the court system very much effective? Because we see a lot of cases on the docket for months and sometimes years. How can technology help there?
Yes, when it comes to the court system, you can use technology in the court system in several different ways,
Okay.
even through the apps.
Yeah.
Let's say technology brings about open communications.
Okay.
Because with that, you will have judges, being informed about a case instantly with technology. Even the lawyers, the defenders, they will all be informed about a particular case, within seconds.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say is that technology is acceptable in every aspect of our lives today. There is nowhere you will not find technology to be useful. So yes, it can be used within the court system to make it better.
And one way of using technology tonight, if you are watching us, this is focused on Liberia. This is the use of technology to reach millions of people across the world. And we do this every week with different programs. Tonight, this is our Innovative Solution series, and we are talking about technology, using technology to solve the many problems. Let me go back on Facebook and read a few more comments. Musu Stewart said, I think the case with Liberia is a work in progress. The full infrastructure to support a platform is not yet solid. Bataki Luwini say, how can I be part of the discussion? Bataki, you can call. The number is posted right there on the screen, and you can be part. Dave Jar say, expand on the kind and nature of support that is needed from the universities and the government. Before you answer that, are there research written by Liberians about Liberia that people can look to when writing scholarly papers? That's from Abenigo Doe Maston. And last question from Musu. Can we house externally supported wireless connections that bypass wireless platforms in Liberia for the sake of better internet connection? So there you have your questions. Your work is cut up there for you, Dr. Vulluleh.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much for those questions. The first questions that has to do with the kinds of support system needed from the government and the universities. Yes. Firstly, in every country, it is true that we need people, individuals, to do their part, to support that country. But in so doing, the government is the first place, the first institution in the country that should establish ground rules, baseline for those individual or innovative, or professionals or individuals to follow. That's one. That's where the government can come in. And some of those universities might not have money. For example, let's say if you have the government that that wants to embrace technology, for example, we can start with the public institutions, like for example, UL. We can start with UL, and the government can put in all support to make UL an institution or a technological institution. Let me put it that way. When you see that, you will see other institutions following suit, private institutions following suit. Is how the government can come in. And then, although the government can make UL to become, a technological university, but UL also has to be willing to do it. What do I mean by they have to be willing? One, UL has students. It has authorities, let's say board of directors and all those people. When the government tell them, say, go ahead and implement e-learning, those administrations that are in UL, for example, they won't just go ahead and say, okay, the government said we should do this and do that. The reason why the government put them there is to manage that institution. So they will come in with a suggestion to the government and say, hey, you said we should implement so and so this e-learning, but right now, looking at the student population, when we start to do this, many of them will be affected because not many of them have students. So that's where the administration or UL or the universities can come in, in implementing such thing with the government. And that's where the government can come in to help. Then the second question is paper written by Liberians. Yes. At first, I thought that there was no paper out there written by Liberians. But after the Liberia e-library was established, when as such, the amount of things I saw, this volume, the amount of authors that have called and they have posted their work, free articles and books and all those things on the library, they are like this. And today they are putting enough work on that library. So yes, you have a lot of work out there that have been written by Liberians. Secondly, you have a lot of books out there that are about Liberia. They were not written by Liberians, but they are about Liberia. And there are many, and some of them on the side. And they were written by white men, they were written by black men, they were written by Chinese, Americans, all over. Some of them have posted their work there. When you go there, you will see them. And they have a whole lot of work from the beginning of Liberia history, like the slavery time and all these things that are out there in the public square. So yes, you have a whole lot of work about Liberia and a whole lot of Liberian authors out there that have written. Yes.
Thank you again, folks in cyberspace. You just listening to Dr. V. Dr. V is a Liberian and he built a library called elibrary.org. If you go to elibrary.org, you will see that online library. It's right there. I went there. It is rich with social research materials, articles about Liberia, books about Liberia, like he just said, written by Liberians and other nationals around the world. If you go there, you will see that there are more than 700 different pieces of information about Liberia and other things related to Liberia. It's a rich resource database that if you are a student, you are a researcher, if you are a writer, that you can use and also share your information. That we want to say thank you for that contribution to our community. When I saw that, I was amazed. Folks, we are coming to the close of this broadcast. The phone line has been pinned down there, and we have been hoping, it seems to be you are just enjoying yourself, taking in the information, so you don't want to call. Dr. V is also answering the question. Dennis.
Yes, sir.
We are about to wind down. Go ahead.
No, we have 20 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Vulluleh. Many times when people talk about developing the country, we are talking about mineral resources, and sometimes the next place they go is agriculture. Where will you sometimes, when we're trying to see what can we do now, let's say a new government is in power, some will say roll, electricity. Will you also say technology? Where does technology rate as to how it can turn things around, create jobs, and make things better for us?
Yes, okay, like you talk about the machines in agriculture, for example. You can use machines or technology in the agricultural sector. And those machines will be operated by Liberians, by people. People will be employed. And with technology, you will bring in more jobs in the country. And one thing I can say is that technology, it draws focus. That's what technology does. So if you see places like Liberia trying to implement or introduce technology to the highest level, you will see other outside countries, outside nations will start being drawn by the technology that is being used in Liberia. So you will see they will start taking jobs to Liberia because they see the innovation that Liberia will be carrying out.
A country like India benefits from outsourcing, right? Lastly, so sometime and let me. This is full disclosure. I have a technology background as well, and let's take for instance if you have internet in Fisibu, Lofa County, or in Yahweh Mesran, Nimba County, or in Duka Free, Sino County. Let's say most of the time people will respond and say, well, the people are not ready for it yet, or they need food, or they need road, or they need. What can you say that can be the benefit of technology in rural areas that maybe the people cannot even, they are not working or something? What can we do to transform that area using technology? Let's say internet, or let's say the phone, or access to technology. Talk to me about technology in the remotest part of Liberia.
Yes. Before the people have the parable, I don't know what I'm saying in the right way, but it says before a child walks, they have to crawl. So when you're talking about the interior part, first let's talk about Monrovia, which is the city. Monrovia has no technology, really. So firstly, you have to implement the technology there, and the implementation of the technology within Monrovia will include bringing in the professionals, bringing in the infrastructures, and all these things, because it will be in Monrovia that all these things will be placed to be able to serve the rural areas. So if you don't have the infrastructure really based in Monrovia or somewhere better, then the rural area will not be, will have no access to technology. That's one. And then some of the best thing we can do for the interior people is maybe like taking the cell phone there, the cell phone towers, taking them closer. Because with that, at least they will have little access to something, like the technology. But Liberia has to crawl first. That is, Monrovia has to be somewhere before.
Yep.
Yes.
Call out your name and where you're joining us from. Quickly to the issue.
Thank you, brother. My name is Esnella Thomas Lowe, and I'm calling from the Netherlands.
All right.
Please call your name again.
Esnella Thomas Lowe. Can you get me? All right, let's leave it that way. This is the type of thing I really want to see from Liberian talk show. Emphasizing on the way forward when it comes to technology. I work in the sector of technology, but I work in data science and artificial intelligences when it comes to deep learning and machine learning, and designing application that is more smarter to do the things that people want to do. This is the type of connection that I want to get from the brother, on the floor. Because if you check on my Facebook, I have a small business in the Netherlands that provide IT services to the embassies in Europe. I also design a biometric application for all Liberians in the diaspora, especially when it comes to the Netherlands. I would like to also meet with the brother. I would like to also, do some lot of stuff Right now, what I have pending is an emergency response application, both on Android and also on iOS, to fight coronavirus in Liberia. What that application can do, if you see a patient, you can scan the patient. The code will then determine the fever of the person, and then send it directly to the back end. And then the police will be able to come there, or the ambulance will be able to drive there, based on location services. I really admire you guys, and this is the type of topic I want to be part of. And there's a lot of stuff we can also bridge when it comes to Liberia, when it talks about the internet facility, how to improve our internet sector. I also designed a national educational platform for e-learning, both on Java and also on, it's available on Android and iOS, where students can have access to their learning platform when it comes to books and when it comes to all of these things. If you check on my Facebook page, the most of them, I can also give you guys, access to the source code that you guys can be able to manipulate into it, and then see what you can get out of it. So, my brother, my name is Ezeneda, son of Luen. I want to also hook up with many Liberians that are in the field of technology when it comes to data and science, and especially when it comes to quantum physics, because now I'm going to quantum physics. I want to do quantum mechanics and prepare for the future. I also do data analysis when it comes to giving a concrete data when it comes to Liberia, what kind of people we have in a certain area, what are their health, what are their states of health, who are these people, are these parents working, are these children in school? I got a whole data and analysis when it comes to data science, when it comes to artificial intelligence. So I want to thank you for the show, brother.
Thank you, Lowene. I felt like saying amen when you were just talking, because you see, Liberia has so much potential. We have so many professionals across the world, but we've not been able to meet and kind of compare notes. Now you have Dr. P. Vulluleh, and then we can have the connection. Thank you so much. Let's go to our next caller, and we're going to be connecting with you so that we can harness all these resources and do something for Mama Liberia.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Let's go to one of our regular caller, Mr. Keseli Dobo. Keseli, you are live.
Good evening, Mr. Jah. Good evening, Mr. Jah and Sia.
Yes.
And I said good evening to Dr. Vulluleh.
Yes, good evening, sir.
My question will have to do with the business sector and the challenges that come with creating this sector in Liberia. Knowing for the fact that the world we live in now is a computer world, but Liberia is still way down the path when it comes to computer learning. If you go to most of our schools nowadays, they don't even have the computer aspect in schools. So that, what do you think, what are some of the challenges you think you're going to face if for any reason we want to establish these things in Liberia? And what are the prospects you see? So what are some of the challenges, and what are some of the easy paths you see that you think we can use this means in making path when it comes to the Liberian community, in Liberia for that matter? With no foundation, elementary-wise, to our students who have no computer knowledge, nothing. Can you please address yourself to that for me, please? Thank you.
Keseli, I said don't take them for granted. Picking technology is getting popular, but let Pete take that. Go ahead, Pete.
Yes, I agree with you. Some of them, are into the technology field, and some of them know, actually, when you call some of them, when you call some of them, you're talking to them, you can know that they are somewhere in technology. But one of the best ways to be successful in the e-learning platform in Liberia is, for example, since maybe the technology or the internet and the devices like computers are not really available or accessible to most of these students, one of the best ways is like, you don't have to start big. You can have one department, that go into technology or e-learning. And that department can use the university laboratory, the labs that are there, the computer labs. They can use them for classes. Those who don't have computers to access their courses or to maybe watch the live videos or lectures, they can use the computer lab for that time. And those who already have access to computers, they can sit anywhere they want to access their learning. So that's one of the challenges are there. If you have the universities that don't have, that platform, that electricity almost 24/7 or doing operational hours, or if they don't have that areas to provide alternative for those who don't have it, then the whole thing will kind of almost die down, because you will have students who want to learn, but they can't learn because the facility is not being provided to them.
All right. Let's come to the question Dennis asked earlier. Dennis, you want to restate your question to Dr. V?
Yeah, my question, Dr. V, are you there? My question is, if we are implementing technology in Liberia today, so what would be the what would be needed, the timeline, and what are some of the things? I know you need servers, you need this, you need that. What do we need? How long can we get that off the ground?
Yes, it all depends on the type of technology you're trying to implement, the type of things you are trying to do. Oh. So you have to be very, very specific. I mean, but one of the things you will always need is the expertise. You need people, professionals, to come assess the whole situation and give advice and run the whole thing, provide training. All these things should be available. Professionals are very important. If we are not prepared to spend on professionals, then what you want to do will have no good root, and suddenly it will start to fall.
And you must also have the big money, right?
Yes, all your money. But with money, you can get a professional as well. Yes.
All right, let's take this caller quickly. Joe Moyo, your turn to speak.
I'm enjoying the topic as usual. One area of technology that would drive development in Africa, more specifically Liberia, is data science. And I noticed that you don't have that many Africans in that area, in the area of data science. Because imagine this, if, say, for instance, the government of Liberia wants to drive the development in a specific area, like, to build a school, to build a hospital. It's the data scientists that will provide that sort of information as to, the demographics of the area, the population of the area. And we don't have that. And one thing most of these foreign expat professionals that come to Liberia, they always criticize us for that. We don't have data. There's not much data in Liberia. So some of the things that they come up with, it seems like they just make it up. It's on assumption. They just assume that, okay, X, Y, Z is, it's a situation here, because the government doesn't have that much data in terms of pretty much every area.
Joe, we have ledgers. We have ledgers in Liberia. I think Ledger is working in that direction. Are you suggesting that though they're doing some work there, but the information they have is not enough then?
No, the information is not enough. And where there's available data, it's not, in some areas, not credible. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not just, just making this wild assumption. It's true. I've even read the report that some of these NGOs go down to Liberia that they came up with. That there's not much data, and it's not only Liberia, all over Africa. Say, for instance, why do you think, say, in Liberia and pretty much 99.9% of African countries, you don't have street addresses? All is tied to data. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's not only Liberia. You go to Ghana, you go to Nigeria, and even places like India, most of the developing countries, there's vast areas, no street addresses. If there's not, you give me something, you say, Joe, you're going to Liberia, I want you to drop this for me. I say, okay, how will I get it there? You say, where you go, and you know where JFK is? You see one big plum tree, and so you're not giving me any street address.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's something that, I mean, if we have people that had that background in, data science, people, people got the background in population demography and all that. Those are the sort of things we have, but it's all tied to technology, which is, of course, the topic tonight.
Thank you, Joe.
We got a far way to go.
Thank you, and Dr. V. Thank you, Moyu. And Dr. V. One of our viewer here is asking a question: what are the geographical advantages and disadvantages of technology? Looking at Liberia, looking at our weather or climate, if you like, what are the advantages and disadvantages in carrying technology that is needed there? I mean, talking about all the technology we have there.
Yes, to just talk a little about the brother who was on point. Mm-hmm. Earlier on, I talked about research. You talk about data scientists. Research is very important everywhere. If you don't have research, you don't have researchers, then everything you do will just be based on assumptions, and assumptions can carry anybody anywhere. But when it comes to the question right now, probably if you have asked me this question maybe a couple of years ago or decades ago, I will be like, okay, I can answer that for you, because Liberia is like this, it's like that. But now, almost there is no problem with carrying technology in Liberia, because what? Everything is now in cloud. Everything is now in the air. So right now, you can decide not to have physical server in the country. You can decide to just put your server in the cloud. All your data, you can decide to put it in the cloud. And there is no weather that would disturb that.
Then what's about the hardware? Because I see the cable people running the cable. Sometime back, I heard about a company that was trying to help to carry internet to Liberia, and I saw, I know, they were taking the cable from the sea, and so would that not, hamper anything? Talking about the hardware.
Okay, so it's where we were just talking about the research. We need more research in that area.
Okay.
1. 2, yes, we need more research in that area. Let me just stop here at that place.
All right. Yes. Yes. All right, Dr. Vulluleh, and we want to say a very big thank you to you. We are so glad that we were able to have you on today. There's a lot that we learn from you as hosts and also our viewers. I can just hope that we can do that again. Technology is a big part of today's world. And if there is anything that can make life any better for everybody to be happy, my guess is that gotta be technology. So if we want to talk about anything of most significance to improve our lives, it must be technology and not the politics that I like that Dennett doesn't like. And so we are so happy to have you. We will not ask you to conclude.
Okay, thank you so much, firstly, for having me on your show. Really, I hope to come back again. To just summarize, technology is very important. It's important because it makes our life easier every day. If you don't go into technology and decide that, hey, technology is too difficult, you'll be making your whole life difficult. That's why it is. So, and with technology, we were able to build, this Liberia e-library, and it's out there with technology. And I like the callers who call in with their views. This is not, to criticize somebody. I'm not criticizing anybody. We are all doing this to learn and then be able to move forward. I like the brother who called from Netherlands. We're all trying to move forward here. So hope you can come to join in on the project. We all have a whole lot of ideas. Myself, I have a lot. So we all we have to work together, to collaborate and bring those ideas to light. So thank you for having me, and thanks to your audience for listening to me.
Thank you, Dr. Vulluleh, and thank you to you on Facebook who have been following us here on Focus on Liberia. There has been a very educative show this evening. Mr. Jha.
We just want to say thank you. Join us tomorrow at 3 for our FOL Marketplace, there where we discuss business, economic, and finance. Tomorrow we're going to be dealing with the issue of personal finance. And then on Sunday, we're going to discuss something for our kids that are home. We're going to be talking about the counties, the capitals, how they got their names, and some history about our counties. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, to all our viewers. And Dr. P. Vulluleh, we'll be glad to have you back. We'll work something out so we can have this on a continuum basis. Until then, from all of us here at Focus on Liberia, we want to say good night and God bless you.
We are Liberia. Liberia is our home. Liberia people. Liberia.